Joe, how you doing? Joe, I had a good day.
We already saw your phone.
No, what? No.
You don't have to bring it out.
No, I was looking for something.
Your fake Gucci case.
No, stop it.
Where'd you buy it, on the street?
I was looking for something. I had a picture here.
At the same place Rob Parker got his watch.
Yeah.
I will see if I can pull up that picture right quick and show you my picture, Skip.
Shannon had a very good day yesterday.
Haley, did I see you that picture?
He doesn't have Instagram and he does not.
Oh, that's me and my partner. That's me and my partner. Skip, Taylor.
That was yesterday?
Yeah.
Where?
I ain't telling you. You might be hanging out there stopping me and Bron.
It's outside of Sugarfish.
Oh.
Me and Bron, my partner, was just hanging.
Well, how did you pull that off?
What you mean, how?
What was the occasion?
Hey, Bron, what you got going on? Hey, you want to grab lunch?
Nothing.
Nah, you know, I just happen to be in the neighborhood.
Grab a little lunch?
Yeah, you don't know. I was in the neighborhood taking care of some business.
That's what crazy people say.
No.
I just happened to be in the neighborhood. How funny to see you here, LeBron. I've only been following you since you landed in L.A.
My sister was
Here's
putting
your
money
socks.
in the meter.
I stole these off your dresser.
She called me and said, "You'll never guess who's crossing the street." I'm like, "Who?" She said, "LeBron."
Seriously?
She said, "LeBron James." I said, "Bull jive." I come outside. I'm taking a left, and by that time, he looks my way.
That's it.
He said, "Dog, what it is?" And before he left, he said, "Hey, do what you do to that guy."
Is that what he said?
I don't think
Did you tell him I said hi?
No. That's my partner. That's my partner. You got partner?
You know what? I think LeBron set the whole thing up because LeBron wanted to get his picture on Undisputed.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah.
That's a nice picture, how Skip.
What I think. Yeah, it's a good picture.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to catch you with these followers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to catch you with these
So you got that up on your wall already?
Nah,
Yeah.
you know,
Framed?
that's kind of like the one we took during the parade.
Maybe you should get that made into a pillow, like for an addition for your bed.
You know, last time I took a picture with LeBron, Skip, you know what happened?
It was at the parade.
Yeah, you know.
And he was looking sideways at you like, is this guy stalking?
Nah. I'm not a stalker.
All right. Let's start with the Broncos. They have their new quarterback. Case Keenum will reportedly sign with the Broncos when free agency officially begins tomorrow. John Elway and Denver were reportedly in the mix for Kirk Cousins, but apparently lost out on the former Redskin. Keenum had a breakout year, going 11-3 as the Vikings starter and leading them to the NFC Championship game. So, Shannon, is this the right move for your Broncos by John Elway?
He's the best option after losing out on Kirk Cousins. Skip, you couldn't lose out. You can't lose out on both. And you can't keep putting all your eggs in Kirk Cousins' basket and then someone swoops in and now you lose Case Keenum and you lose Cousins. This is what we know. This team is equipped to, I believe, challenge for a playoff spot and go deep into the playoffs with consistent quarterback play. They tried it last year. Paxton Lynch is not ready. We don't know if he'll ever be ready. We knew what Brock Osweiler was a year ago, but I guess at $725,000, Skip, he was just too good of an option to pass up. And then Trevor Siemian, he is what he is. He's a good backup, can come in, give you about a month worth of work. Now you need your starter back. I believe Case Keenum is the best option for the Broncos. It probably saves them in the neighborhood of $10 to $12 million a year. So now they'll be able to go and maybe address another issue, offensive line, maybe defensive line. So we know John wanted to make a splash. Peyton Manning, we saw it. D. Ware from the Cowboys. He's Aqib Talib. So in free agency, Skip, he's not trying to get no bottom feeders. He's not just trying to get, just a guy. No, he's trying to get named guys, proven guys. I believe Case Keenum is the best option because it doesn't look like Kirk Cousins is going to be an option. So I agree. Yes, this is the right move for the Broncos, and I believe Elway did an unbelievable job.
What I believe is that John Elway took the easy way out. He took the short-term, safe way out. I'm not saying this is the best way out because I think there was a better way to go. But it's a scary way to go, and I think John had swung and missed enough times on quarterbacks in drafts that he finally said, no mas, I give up. No more, as he was saying the other day, swinging and missing. And he's admitted the other day, I'm sure I'll swing and miss again.
Right.
But he said, not this time. So he took himself off the quarterback hot seat by going with the tried and true. Not that Case Keenum is all that tried and true. He's tried for 1 year and he threw 22 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. And He took that team in Minnesota all the way to the NFC Championship game. So he did that.
Right.
And so you can feed off that. You can play off that. You can sell that to your fans.
Absolutely.
And by the way, just for the record, because anybody who's followed me on television knows, I've always liked Case Keenum. Is he Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? No, he's not.
No.
But he's pretty good. And he'll be pretty good for your Broncos next year because he's wily and he's mentally tough and he's a gamer and he's an underrated athlete who can make some plays with his legs. And he has average arm talent that he maximizes with a good brain. He's got a good football mind, and he's like a good point guard who anticipates. You know, he can see the pass before he makes it. And he'll put off this spectacular play every once in a while, as we saw at the end of the Minnesota Miracle game. He did throw that ball.
He did.
And Stephon Diggs caught that ball, and Marcus Williams did not play that ball. But that's a whole nother story. So here's John Elway. But I'm going to contend this to you right now. I say longer term, Baker Mayfield will be better than Case Keenum. But that would require you closing your eyes and taking Baker Mayfield with the 5th overall pick, if in fact he lasts until the 5th overall pick. That's just me. Baker Mayfield.
Going before 5, Skip.
Huh? Well,
It might not even be top 10.
You could be shocked over this. Remember what Charlie Weiss said? He'd take him number 1 overall, right?
And he probably would be top 5.
People maybe just be laying in the weeds right now to take Baker Mayfield before that. So there is some gamble on who's going to be left at 5. I thought for a while maybe John would fall in love with a Josh Allen who was more Elway-esque at 6'5", 200.
Well, let's see what the terms of this agreement is. Let's see.
I think it's short term. I mean, I think it'll be a couple of years.
Okay, but even that being said, how much guaranteed money is going to – Skip, it's hard for me to believe that you're going to give this guy, let's just say for sake, 5 years, $100 million, 55, 60 million guaranteed.
No, I think it's short term. All the reports are short term, but we haven't seen the numbers yet.
So you think it's something like 3 years?
It could be 2 years, around $20 million a year, 20-ish.
Well, if that's the case, then they are definitely going to be – they probably will be in the market for a quarterback.
Maybe not now. Maybe not in this draft, because to your point, they got a lot of other glaring needs.
Yes.
So you do have the 5th overall pick, or you could – now, Buffalo, Buffalo obviously made a move yesterday, so they've got the firepower to trade up to 5 now. If you want to go back and take a couple of first-round picks, you could do it that way.
I agree, and I believe that's what John would like to do, accumulate some picks and go into the draft and maybe build, get some depth through young guys. Because that's what they did with Bradley Roby. Played. Okay, now he's ready to start. We get rid of Akeem, and we get a 5th-round draft pick. So maybe they back up. Acquire some.
Or does he? I love Minkah Fitzpatrick. I think he is a player, and if you think he's a Talib type, so if you think he's that good, maybe you take him. That Notre Dame guard is the next Zach Martin. That Quentin Nelson, he's sitting right there. That's who Todd McShay has Denver taken at 5. I don't know. You could go that way, but you could also, if you were really gutsy, and I think John's been burned so many times he's not. You could take a quarterback with the 5th overall and just make Case your bridge. You could.
Yeah, but I think the guy that reminds John most of himself would probably be Josh Allen.
It would be.
A big guy. He's a little taller than John, a little heavier, but John had the arm, and he could throw the ball a long way down the field.
Okay, but that's a project at best.
Yes. But I think John probably early on wasn't as accurate as he became later in his. I think John is a better athlete than Josh Allen. I think John Elway is a better athlete than all these guys coming out, other than Lamar Jackson.
I mean, you knew John Elway, but I mean, for people who knew him right when he first came into the league, he was a spectacular baseball player. He was. And
in the past that you saw that Nick Foles caught the touchdown on.
Yeah.
Dan Reeves routinely had that play. We throw that play probably 3-4 times a year.
Yeah.
And John would catch it running up the sideline for 30, 40 yards, not just for 2-3 yard touchdowns.
But John Elway, I watched the first 2 or 3 years in this league. He was a running quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they were called runs for him.
Yes. So I believe all things being equal, if he had a choice, if you say, okay, you get your choice of quarterbacks at 5, I believe Josh Allen is the guy best suited for him. But Case Keenum, Skip, it gives them opportunity because you're going to save $10, $12 million per year. Because Kirk Cousins is going to come in somewhere around $27 to $30, $31 million a year. You're probably going to have to guarantee at least $100 million over the first 3 years.
I'm going to say it again. He is about to become, by far, the most overpaid quarterback in NFL history. Go ahead.
And he's probably going to get $60 million just the first year alone, Skip.
Yep.
And so I don't know if John was willing, because what good is it to sign Kirk Cousins if you got to get rid of DT? You got to get rid of Emmanuel. You got to get rid of some. At that point in time, it's almost like the Carmelo going to the Knicks, Skip.
Yep.
You have to give up so much to get him. By the time he gets there, it's bare. So you defeated the purpose of you getting a guy that can help you get to the point of where you want him to go. I like this. Would I prefer to have Kirk Cousins? Yes. All things being equal, hell, I prefer to have Drew Brees. But that seems to be an option that is off the table because it looks like he's going back to New Orleans. And so with that being said, this is the best John could do given the circumstances, because he knows what he has in Denver is not good enough to take him where he needs to be. And being out of the playoffs for a third consecutive year is unacceptable to him.
Okay, so I said that Baker Mayfield long-term will be better than Case Keenum.
Okay.
I'll also say this. Case Keenum, to me, is a little better than Kirk Cousins. So that's a score. He just is.
No, he ain't.
Yes, he is. Look what he did last year. He took that team to 11-3. I know it's got the best defense in pro football, but he had the second-best QBR to your man Carson Wentz.
Look at what he had to throw to, Skip. Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen went to the Pro Bowl.
Okay.
Kyle Rudolph.
All right.
Kirk Cousins, guys, you remember, they let free agency. They let two of them go. One ended up in San Francisco, the other in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And his tight end, his all-world tight end, stayed hurt. He couldn't stay healthy. His offensive line was in flux. So give Kirk that situation. We're going to see. We're going to talk about him a little later.
Is more of a winner than Kirk Cousins is. I'm not saying that Kirk Cousins doesn't have more ability than Case Keenum.
He won in college, Skip.
Who?
Kirk.
Oh, I guess. Some. So did Case Keenum was good in college. He was really good.
I thought you liked the Big Ten. You say you like the Big Ten. Kirk was in the Big Ten. It's just all right. I mean, it ain't Bama. I mean, he ain't been in the SEC.
I went to SEC school. I went to the
doormat.
No, I went to the pipeline to the NFL.
Okay, you're right.
By the way, did you see Casey Hayward? He got a huge contract because he's the best corner in all of football.
Yeah, I
He's
like
from
Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's really nice. That's a nice school. Nice institution for higher learning.
Casey Hayward, how did he come out of there?
Are you trying to get
Oh,
discount?
yeah. So now you have Case Keenum as just a stopgap, but he's a good stopgap. And you still have a pretty good team whose window is closing on your defense.
You mean to tell me that Broncos about to play $50 million for a doorstop?
What, stopgap?
No, he better.
Doorstop.
No, he better not be no stopgap. He better stay for a while.
Well, he gives you a year or two just to get you over the hump with what's left. You're about to be in rebuild mode on your defense. Yeah. I don't know how much it's got left.
Well, I mean, Chris Harris Jr. is good, still fairly young. I don't think he's 30 yet. You got Roby. Roby is, 26? Mm-hmm. You still got Von Miller. Von Miller's, 27, 28?
Okay.
There is a few more pieces.
You're going to miss Talib.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so
they're going to do something with
now
Derek
look
Wolfe.
at your division. Yeah, maybe. So now you have a brand new quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, in Kansas City, and that's been the best team in the division. And they just signed one Sammy Watkins to go with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Kareem Hunt. So he's got weapons, but he's never played in the NFL, or he's never started a game in the NFL. So I'm going to have to say that your team is slightly better at this point with Case Keenum than they are yet. They may come fast, but right now on paper, I'd give the Broncos a slight shot.
But here's the thing. This is what we know about Sammy Watkins. When he plays, he can be dynamic.
Yeah.
The problem with him is that his inability to stay healthy throughout the entirety of the season. So that's why Buffalo gave up on him. That's why the Rams didn't re-sign him. He's only 25. 25 years of age. That's what he is. But he can't stay healthy.
Nope.
And
they just gave him a whole bunch of money.
That you got a boat.
Whew.
Dez Bryant, that money out there. If I'm you, I ain't taking no pay cut. Hell nah, Jerry ain't taking no pay cut. I'm going to go get me some of this money out here because they paid it. They gave Sammy Watkins $16 million. No Pro Bowls, no All Pros. He was traded. They gave him $16 million. Yeah, you ought to get out and get you about 10 or 12. But
I thought you were you thought Dez is a disaster, shell of himself.
I think that if he were to go somewhere else and have something to prove, because the Cowboy fans gonna love Dez regardless. They look at Dez he's still a top 5 receiver, even though he hasn't gotten 1,000 yards, even though he hasn't had double-digit touchdowns since 2014. Dez still top 5. Go give him Ben Roethlisberger, give him Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so back to your division. So now you got the John Gruden X factor in Oakland.
Ain't no X factor.
Well, I don't know. Is he
gonna
going
coach
to
like
jumpstart
98.
it?
He said he's gonna coach like 1998.
Well, he did.
And the Broncos beat the brakes off him. How do I know?
Okay,
Because I
so
was there.
you have a young quarterback there who I still have questions about.
I
and
got
I'm
a lot
not
of
sure,
questions about
and I
it.
have a whole lot of questions about the defense.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm not sure about the Raiders, but I'm still sold on the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yes.
Phillip Rivers
Yes.
is still Phillip Rivers, and it seems like he's been there for 20 years, but this is about to be his 15th year. And that's a loaded football team that I thought would win that division last year, but the kicker cost them the first 2 games, and they never quite got back over the hump.
Right.
And so I would give them a slight edge over the Broncos and then the Chiefs and then the Raiders.
And they got a defense that's out of this world.
Yep.
You got Bosa, you
Yep.
got Ingram, you got Legit. So they got some guys that can play on that side of the ball. Now, the question is, can those receivers, Keenan Allen is a monster. You saw when he stayed healthy what he can do. Melvin Gordon, now all of a sudden you started like, wow, Melvin Gordon pretty good because he can catch and run the football. So I agree with you. The Broncos have their work cut out. Don't think just because you're getting Case Keenum, automatically you're the favorite, because I don't believe they are, Skip. I still believe the Kansas City Chiefs are slightly better than the Broncos. But it won't be no situation where you going in, you're like, man, if this goes right, if the ball bounces like this, and the Eagle lands on that flagpole at 12:05, we got a chance to win.
Yep.
You coming in with a football team and a quarterback. That is the one position that not only the offense, but the defense, everybody has to buy in, Skip, and believe that we have a chance to win on Sunday.
Yep.
I don't believe they believe that. They believe that if Talib gets a pick six or Vaughn gets a strip sack and we get a scoop and score, we can win.
Yep.
You can't hope for all those scenarios to go right. You think Tom Brady, you think Patriots believe like, man, if we get a pick six and we get a scoop and score, if we do, they're like, no, we're going to win because we got him. That's the kind of confidence you got to have in your quarterback. You got to believe that you're going into the game. I know, played with John Elway for 9 years. We go into the game, oh, we got this.
Yep.
And if we behind, he going to bring us back.
That's true. So speaking of your man, John Elway, is it possible that John, as the GM, as the architect of the Broncos, is suffering some Michael Jordan syndrome, as in Michael Jordan has had a hard time picking players who can play basketball.
Yeah.
The greatest player ever can't quite pick players who can play. John Elway's had a hard time, one of the top 5 quarterbacks ever, picking a quarterback who can play, because he picked Brock Osweiler at the bottom of the 2nd round. He tried Zach Dyser at the bottom of the 7th, Trevor Siemian 7th, Chad Kelly in 7th, and then, of course, he tried Paxton Lynch.
Well, it would help.
Bottom of the 1st round.
It would have helped had Michael gotten the ping pong instead of being 2, being 1. Now he gets Anthony Davis instead of Michael Kidd. A lot of times, Skip, it's just
Sometimes, yep. No, I agree. But it's funny to me that here you have Howie Roseman in Philadelphia, who never even played high school sports, didn't play any high school sport, never played any level of football that I'm aware of.
Right.
And he just put together the Super Bowl championship team in Philadelphia. And he made one sweet move after another last offseason, all of which added up to Super Bowl. And here you have the great John Elway, and he's flailing to find a quarterback, and he finally says, I give up. I'm going to take Case Keenum, who a year ago most people wouldn't have given you a dime for.
You're
right?
exactly right.
Yeah.
I think, and plus, I think it's easier if you have not played sports to be a general manager as opposed to being, especially an all-time
That's
great.
interesting. Yeah.
Because the thing is, Skip, you're going to compare everybody that you're possibly looking at to you.
I agree with that.
So
that was always my contention with Michael Jordan. It came so, not that he didn't work hard, not that John didn't work hard at their craft, but it came so easily that they're like, well, wait a second. Like John's looking at Brock Osweiler. Well, he can do this. I did it. He could do it.
Why can't you see what I see?
Yeah.
Because John can just process information like this here.
Yeah.
Well, everybody can't do that, and that's in the all-time greats. That's why they have a hard time coaching.
Yep.
Mike Singletary could not understand why guys didn't want to spend 8 hours a day studying like he did, because that's not how they're wired.
Yeah.
And so a guy that's on the lesser tier, Skip, he understands. He sees it through a different lens.
I know, Mike, and he couldn't understand why everybody in his locker room didn't want to run through the wall the way he wanted to run through the wall.
Yes.
They couldn't get themselves individually up for games the way he got like psycho up for games.
Correct.
And finally he sent Vernon Davis to the locker room. You know,
Won't play with him. Can't win with him.
Can't win with him. Yeah, there you go.
And every once in a while, now Ozzie is in the Hall of Fame, and you get a situation like him.
He can do it. He can cross over.
I mean,
Great player, great picker.
to do what he's been able. Now,
You can see it and feel it.
He hasn't, and he'll tell you, I haven't had success picking wide receivers.
No.
Because
That's a good point.
Travis Taylor and all this, Brashard Perriman, they're still hoping. But defensive guys, I mean, he got 3 first ballot Hall of Famers, and Ray is going in this year, Ed next year, and then Suggs when he retires. And he got Jonathan Ogden already in. So I don't know how you do better than that in 20 years to get 4 Hall of Famers.
And John Elway's best pick was
Von Miller, who's probably going to be probably going to go to Canton.
Probably going to go.
So, you ready to say it? Broncos Super Bowl? No?
He's not even ready to say AFC West.
Come on.
I'm gonna say Cavs.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
What if Ron played for the Broncos?
Well, then you'd be all right.
You should try that.
Then they three-peat.
Be by 27.
Will Kirk Cousins go to Minnesota or New York? We'll discuss that next.